somebody has to find it beautiful. Maybe at some point in their life they don't, and then they hear something, and then they suddenly hear more the beauty in it. But if you hear the beauty in it and feel it, then you make it come out. But you can't just add something like a paintbrush onto it. It's like, and there are certain standard rubatos. Now I have to give you one more pet peeve. Starting things slowly. Okay, sometimes it's beautiful in romantic stuff. But this kind of thing, Opus 109, all the time, the audition. I really dislike it. Because the harmony, I mean the thing is, okay, here's the answer to it. That's contrived in my opinion, because it's like phrasing type A. Stick it on the music here. Take time at the beginning and get faster and then get slower at the end. But rather, look at the music. So look at, okay, what are the chords? If you don't find something in that, then what can you say? I mean, and also notice that it's an upbeat two. That's two. And then this goes a little farther. So that's just the shape of it, but then already it's beautiful. And then when you play it, then longer one. That's happy. Any other questions?
Your two-note slurs are so beautiful and so inflected, so separate from each other. So how do you teach?
It's a physical thing.
Yeah.
The sound, the difference of volume shouldn't be very much.
Mm-hmm.
It's the actual touch. And so it's what I was saying, you drop on the first one, and the second one you're on the key, and it makes a different kind of sound. It sounds softer. But if you play too soft on the second one, it loses the line. So it has to, be almost the same volume, but if you're just dropping your finger. And I can't stress enough that how much, I mean, it's just been such a joy for me to explore this aspect of playing, of watching my fingers jumping around and see what it sounds like to land. And it takes experimentation and trying it out. And and being aware there are three different ways of playing something. One is with your whole arm, one is with your hand. It's totally opposite because that way your arm actually goes up. And the other one is with your finger. And so most things are a combination of those things. But with these little slurs in Mozart, mostly it comes from the wrist. So the hand goes up and down, dropping and coming off like that. But I mean, and then a piano like this, it's so beautiful that even just dropping on one note, I enjoy it. It's like looking at a diamond or something. And so that inspiration makes me play more beautifully.
Do you sometimes pedal through the two-note? I mean, or probably just a little pedal? I mean, they just sound so...
It depends. I don't know which. You don't need really to pedal. It depends on the context, though. I mean, if there's something in the left hand. Yes.
I hear a lot of thoughts on the package of notes, and I see your subtlety with the pedal itself. But what about finger pedaling in Mozart?
Oh yeah, you have to do that.
And
yeah.
what thoughts do you have on that? I know it depends on context.
Almost always. I just have to make sure that I have to leave in 3 minutes. But yeah, almost always. Like here. But then I use pedal anyway, but still I finger pedal now. I mean, there are some cases where you might want some childish little feeling there. I still think I like the finger pedal in that spot, but there are places, I can't think of them right now, where it sounds really nice to have kind of it's almost staccato in the left.
There are times with those Alberti basses that you can create almost little melodies out of them with good finger pedaling, and sometimes I feel like that's absolutely appropriate.
Yeah, I'm sure Mozart wouldn't mind. Yes.
Just one quick question, is it technical, with the trills in Mozart, it starts on the main note?
Most of the time starts on the main note. And you can look in the Wiener
How do you know if
Urtext,
it
this
starts-
authoritative Wiener Urtext, I think it's the most authoritative one. And he says, well, most of the time they start on the main note, and when appropriate, you can, I mean, most of the time they start on the upper note, I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
right.
on the upper note.
So it's
Most of the time
mostly on
trills
the
start on
upper
the upper note, but
Okay.
when appropriate,
Yeah.
you start on the main note. So who says when appropriate?
But in
You-
Bach, is it the same on the upper
It's the
note?
same idea, that in general, the trills from both of those periods, even in Beethoven, because Beethoven, it's interesting that in 111, he writes a fingering for this double triple trill at the end of the second movement, and he writes 5-1-4-2, and the only thing that means is, can mean is this. And then also in the first movement of 111, there's, this happens twice in the exposition and in the recap. Or should be on the upper note. There's evidence here because in the recap he changes the third one. So the first time, or it's an A flat. Sorry. He writes this out in 16th notes, but starting on the upper note. So it doesn't make any sense to. Makes more sense to upper note. Seems like that's just a little piece of evidence that
Okay.
Beethoven would have used a lot of
But
upper note,
generally-
starting on the upper note, but that doesn't mean that
But
always.
generally in Mozart,
Yeah.
it's the upper note.
Generally.
Generally.
That's right. And always for long trills, though, like at the end of a exposition, it has to be upper note. One last
Do you
question.
use, because it's a big instrument, do you use the soft pedal a lot?
Yeah, I use it
And
too
a lot?
much. Yeah. I try not to.
Okay.
Well,
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.